Morning everyone. Fantastic start to the tournament for England last night. My son and myself were screaming our heads off in the living room downstairs, woke up the neighbours, and it was great for us to start off the tournament with a positive with 3 points and get on the front foot. Thought the overall performance was outstanding, particularly the first half, the chances we created, the movement, the speed at which we played forward, the technical quality, everything apart from the finishing touches. Not too concerned, if I'm honest, about the fact that we didn't take our chances. Every time players like Ali, Stones even, Lingard and Sterling get in those positions is more experience for them at the top level on the biggest stage. If we weren't creating chances, I'd be concerned. We are creating those chances. And I'm certain that one of these days that these young players are going to just click and find that composure that they need at the top level. Hopefully at the key moments when we're in the latter stages of the tournament. But Tunisia were resolute, and the whole performance required patience. The body language remained positive throughout, and I think that's a real reflection on Southgate's leadership and what he expects and what he gets from his players. They don't stop. You don't see negative body language. You don't see people moping. You don't see them kicking the cat around. They're all at it for 90 plus minutes, working together, very positive, just relentless and in everything that they do, in possession, out of possession. Really pleased with that. We had to be patient. The way we use the ball, I think we get the balance about right. I don't agree with the criticism of the likes of Jordan Henderson. He does go short and sideways and backwards, but often that's to rebuild or to build possession to allow us to play forward and hurt teams, to pick the right options. He plays just in front of the back three. He's the only defensive midfielder, and he needs to apply a level of responsibility to the way he plays, and I think he's a perfect person to do that in everything he does. There's enough evidence of him picking out some fantastic forward passes to suggest that he understands the difference. He's not technically the most gifted central midfielder. He's no Xavi or Iniesta. He doesn't have the fluid movement technique, particularly when he's receiving the ball or changing the angle very quickly, that they do. But what he lacks in those areas, he makes up for in mental strength, in defensive quality, in athleticism, in supporting his defenders in the 90th minute, whatever it was. He was the one who anticipated that the ball would break in our box and stick it in row Z when his team really needed him to do it. So I'm happy with Henderson. We play out from the back, we build from the back, we play through him. Don't always play forward straight away. I know that frustrates some people, but it doesn't frustrate me because we created many chances, and I think he gets the balance about right. The referee was poor. The balance of decisions favoured Tunisia. We didn't let that affect us. I'm really pleased about that. You can obviously let it affect your game and make the referee the focus of the game, but our players didn't allow that to happen. Harry Kane should have had 2 penalties. I don't understand the VAR situation. I'm not going to comment on it, but we should have had 2 penalties quite clearly. But we just carried on. We carried on plugging away. We didn't allow that to affect the performance. And again, that shows the mental strength and the character and the expectations that Southgate puts on his players and that they adopt and carry on to the pitch. Walker, as for Walker's role in their goal and conceding the penalty, I'd rather not talk about the decision. You can say it's a penalty, you can say it's not a penalty. Walker should have done better. His body shape was terrible. Next time that ball is going to be delivered or is about to be delivered, he needs to be facing the ball, be able to see the goal and be able to see the man and get touch tight. All he was doing was facing his own goal, couldn't see what was going on behind him, completely the wrong positioning, and that's something that he needs to work on and improve very quickly. I'd rather look at that rather than look at the referee, and he's capable of dealing with that. I thought he had a pretty good game apart from that. So it's a fundamental defensive aspect that he needs to work on. As regards a pattern of play, I reiterate what I said, creating a lot of chances, lots of complementary movements, working across the line, working vertically to stretch the opposition. So Lingard's runs into that channel between their left-sided centre-back and their left-back. Trippier picked out 2 or 3 fantastic balls in the channel for him there. And those runs from deep stretch the opposition. On top of that, many people don't notice it, but the likes of Lingard and Ali and Sterling didn't necessarily apply the finishing touches, but they did a lot of thankless work that they don't get credit for, but creates opportunities for their teammates. And the fluidity, the interchanging positions, and the way that Southgate has them playing and has us attacking, particularly through the central areas of the pitch, I think is fantastic to see, with pace, with penetration. And so I'd rather talk about their movements and the positives rather than focus on the negatives, which are they've got to improve their end product. We understand that. But the way that they're playing together is creating chances against a well-organised Tunisian team. So I'm happy with that. On top of that, they also pressed as a unit incredibly well, counter-pressed. Probably 20-30 times in the game we lost the ball, but very quickly all 11 men recognised the opportunity to go press and win the ball back quickly. Similar to the principles of Guardiola's 8-second rule, win the ball back quickly and then go press again. And the combination of control possession and building play, and the fact that we pressed so well when we didn't have the ball, just gradually ground down the Tunisians, built pressure. We were patient, and in the end we got the deserve that the team performance certainly deserved. So what I would say is that there was probably 3 inches between us winning and drawing that game. So when Ruben Loftus-Cheek went and pressed down in that corner, and the left back conceded the free kick, the corner that led to the winning goal, it crossed the line by probably 3 inches. 3 inches between being heroes or being probably criticised much more in the media, and feeling the whole nation probably feeling a little bit flat. So sometimes managers need a little bit of luck, and I think Southgate, maybe he earned that luck, and his team with their endeavour on the pitch earned that luck last night. But very fine margins at the top level. Tunisia are no mugs. There are probably 4 or 5 sides in the tournament that are not as strong as them, in my opinion. Certainly Panama don't look as strong as them. And I think we did really, really well to get 3 points in what was a tough opening game. The only kind of negative, I guess, is next game is pretty clear for me. Rose needs to play instead of Young. Young's been excellent for Manchester United this year. He's proved me wrong. The work that Mourinho's done with him, and probably his own strength of character, he's kind of reinvented himself. Got himself on the plane, got himself playing in the World Cup. A huge credit to him. But I want Rose on the pitch. For me, he's as good a left back or left wing back as there is in the world. He's fantastic going forward. His decision making in terms of when to overlap, when to underlap, when to attack, and when to run at players, and when to cross is really, really good. And defensively, he's excellent. Very aggressive defender, very aggressive presser. Physically strong, very quick, so recovers if he does make a mistake, which to be honest doesn't happen very often, because his judgment of position, his judgment of space, his awareness of danger is really, really good. So for me, he has to play instead of Young. The other thing to bear in mind is that when he receives the ball from central areas, he lets the ball roll and go across his body, and he allows us to use the channel of the pitch that playing Young doesn't, basically we don't get to use, because you can play the ball down the side, a little bit like Trippier was doing with those fantastic balls just on the outside of their left back into the likes of Lingard. We can do that on the other side of the pitch. When Young plays, he takes his first touch outside his right foot, and it reduces the range of passing that we have and the options, because if he tries to play down the left, he's generally going to go out of play. So it actually opens up probably maybe another 25% of the pitch for us to play in. I don't think we should underestimate that, and I'm a little bit disappointed that, to be honest, that Rose didn't play. There might be other reasons. We never know why managers make the decisions they do. He doesn't need to justify himself to me, Southgate, but based on what I saw, Rose has to play. It'll also mean that we can change the point of attack a little bit, have more attacking threat deep in their half, allow us to get crosses in, because we're very good centrally, but when teams are compact and well organised centrally, as the trend in global in defending in world football is certainly focused on, teams don't allow you space in front of the 18-yard box. They don't allow you to work in that zone. Sometimes you need to change the point of attack and shift their defence, either to deliver from that area or then to reset, come back in and build again and find a space to penetrate. So Rose has to play, end of for me. But yeah, fantastic to see such a positive start. We got 3 points, and there's no team in this tournament that I've seen that we should fear. If these players keep on getting in these positions to score goals, and they probably apply a little bit more composure and learn every time and with every game, I think we're capable of playing the type of football that can open any team in this tournament up. So really positive, long way to go, but it's a nice start against what I thought was quite a tough opposition in Tunisia. See you soon.